Now here we are live at campus, and in walks one of the best dressed men in all the world, Mr. Barry Melrose, with us. Thank you for making time. I know you're busy, especially with everything going on. I guess there's some big hockey games being played or something.
Just one tonight. We have one every night just to keep the fans happy, and then getting closer and closer. Pittsburgh plays tonight. Pittsburgh last game found out that there's a series and they better get going, and you could see them kick it into high gear in the third period, but they got tons of injuries right now. They got three of their top players out in the lineup tonight, so it'll be a hell of a test for Pittsburgh against Ottawa at home.
With those, do they have a chance with everybody out?
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh is what it means is Crosby will play more, Malkin will play more, Kessel will play more, Kunis will play more, and that's usually a good thing. So you're only playing once every 3 days. You get a good chance of rest. I'm more worried on defense with Schultz being hurt because Schultz runs their power play. So Daly's out, Schultz is out, Letang's out. That's three guys that run their power play. So it'll be interesting what they do on that power play, number one, and will it be any good in the game tonight.
And then emotional win in Game 1 for Ottawa. It seemed like that win was enough to say, okay, we're here, we're for real. The injuries were something, but how much can they basically live off of the Game 1 victory throughout the series?
Well, Ottawa's a good team, and I think that's what happened with Pittsburgh. They just come off that 7-game series with Washington, and they were sort of still engrossed in that, and they couldn't match the intensity of Ottawa. So Ottawa threw a wake-up call at them. Ottawa beat the New York Rangers. Probably most people favored the New York Rangers over Ottawa, and they beat the Boston Bruins. So they beat two pretty good hockey clubs. So they play that funky system in the neutral zone where they don't attack. They just plug it up with 1-3-1. And, if you're not willing to work and go get it and dump it in, you're going to have against them, and Pittsburgh got doing that later. They had some scoring chances in Game 2. Certainly was the best team in Game 2, but now they got to do it in. Even when they outplay Ottawa, the score is still 1-0, 2-1. So it's going to be a close check-in affair tonight. There's not going to be a lot of opportunities. Power plays will come in big. And again, the stars for Pittsburgh have to get the job done because, with the injuries, can you rely on Gensel every night? He's got 9 goals. I think he's done pretty good. So we need some goals from other guys in that Pittsburgh lineup.
Barry Melrose with us right now. We're on the campus at ESPN and some Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Predators up 2-1 over the Ducks. Speed, goaltending. Is Nashville the team to beat?
Nashville looked good last night. I know the score was close, but they had by far the best play. The shots were 40-20. John Gibson was spectacular in net. Nashville looked really good last night. Their power play wasn't so good early in the game, but they scored the winning goal on a power play late in the game. Pekka Rinne rebounded, had a solid game. But that Johansson line, they scored a goal. Philip Forsberg, defense scored. Roman Josi scored another goal. They get a lot of offense from their defense. All four lines can check. A guy, Austin Watson, the only Austin anyone knew in the league this year was Austin Matthews, and Austin Watson is scoring goals and playing big minutes on a team that might be in the Stanley Cup final. So the Preds are for real. They've snuck up on teams in the East, being an 8 seed, but 8 seeds have won before, and the Preds are really, really good.
That may have snuck up on people, and also the fan base in Nashville. Yeah. It is absolutely crazy. Did you ever believe there'd be that many hockey fans in Tennessee?
Well, I know Nashville good because I do a lot of stuff with the Garth Brooks charity, and a lot of it happens in Nashville. So I've seen that city. I've been to games when they first got a team. NHL Tonight sent me down there, and I went down there and interviewed a bunch of the country music people and stuff, and I saw firsthand the excitement of the team, and that was 15, 20 years ago. So now add that to a team that's made the playoffs, a team that is a really good hockey club. That city is crazy. They've got the marriage between country music and the NHL. Every night they trot out another country superstar to sing the national anthem. They haven't lost a game at home this year. So, and I've said it on the air a bunch of times that I think if Nashville gets to Stanley Cup Finals, it'll be one of the best Stanley Cup Finals the NHL's ever had.
Barry Melrose with us, and our producer's back in the studio. Barry, and he's a diehard Rangers fan. Like, I like the Rangers, but this kid's got, I think if you took his shirt off, he's got a blue shirt tattooed on underneath
all the
it.
Ranger fans are, yes.
Yeah, so he just keeps, in all caps, I keep getting, what do the Rangers need to do to win the Cup? Like, over and over and over.
Younger. Find the fountain of youth. That's what they got to do. Their window's getting smaller. You look at all their best players, they're all 30-plus. They got to get some young guys, although I like the addition this year of Smith and Shea on defense. They both look really good. They got to make some decisions on guys like Girardi. Kreider had a good playoffs, but he leaves you wanting more. Grabner had a great playoffs, but they got to get some big bodies, big, good skating bodies. The East is very tough. It's a grinding division, and And they got to find a backup for Hank. Is it going to be Ranta? He played really well this year. Even was a #1 goaltender for a while when Hank really struggled. So the Rangers are just a case of getting older, and they got to make some tough decisions on players that have been there a long time, and cut some loose and find some good free agents that fit into the new style of the NHL, which is speed, speed, speed.
We were talking a little bit off here about your ties to Glens Falls and the 518. What always brings you back to the Capital Region? What do you enjoy most about it?
The people. I love the people there. I've been there in 80, 85, 84, and I've basically been there ever since, 3 years in LA and stuff. But this time of year, I love the spring. I love the fall. I love golfing at the Sagamore. I love golfing at Highland. Getting out, going to the track, going to the Chez Pierre at night, having some great. Those are the things I love. I love the Lake George, going out in Lake George with a friend. So I got the best of both worlds. I don't have to spend the winters there anymore, thank God. I do remember the winters, and I'm from Saskatchewan. But that's even a lot of snow for me. So, but I love Glens Falls, and that'll always be our second home.
Barry Melrose, I know you love the Stanley Cup playoffs and the finals. And is there a part of you after a really long season that's just ready to get away from hockey for a little bit?
No, but I'll tell you, it is a long season. I did it as a player. I coached in the Stanley Cup final as a coach. Played 20. I think we played 25 games in the playoffs. It is long. People say, "Well, why don't they repeat? How come you don't repeat? How come it's so hard?" Because it's hard to get guys to do it 2 years in a row. And then don't forget, we had the World Cup this year on our air, and that started in September. So basically, it ended in June. And if you were in the World Cup, you're starting again in end of August, so you basically had a month and a half off. So it is really hard to repeat because you just can't get guys to pay this big a price 2 years in a row. There was easy to repeat in the 70s and stuff because you only played 70 games, which is something we should look at in the NHL again. Go back to 60 games. Product would be better on the ice, and the players wouldn't be hurt near as much. But of course, you got to make the revenue up with the home games. But it is a long, hard grind. There's no doubt about it. And when this playoffs are over, that last night on the road, me and Steve Levy, after we do all our stuff and wrap it up, that first beer tastes good, man. That first summer beer tastes good.
the blue line finish line, right? Just get out there and
just get over and crack one.
Well, if I ever get lucky enough to run into you on Lake George or at the track, I'll make sure I pass a cold one your way.
Yeah, and give me some tips at the track. I never do too good there, so if you got any tips, don't be scared to pass them by.
He's allegedly the expert, but I had Always Dreaming, so I don't know.
Very good. And you also volunteered to buy his beer. Usually you volunteer me to buy everybody else's beer.
I don't really care how I get one, guys, as long as I get one.
I got to make sure Barry gets a good one. That's why I've offered you this one.
Fine.
Barry Melrose, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to the campus here in Bristol. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and tell everyone how beautiful it is here.
Absolutely. Not. I didn't get in too much trouble this time.
It's hard to get in trouble in Bristol, man. It's really hard. Like, you got to work to get in trouble here.
Challenge accepted.